Jonathan, take a seat, please. All right, so today I'm going to be continuing reading Big Anthony. Before I start reading, let's talk about what we already read. So, who can tell me about Big Anthony? What are some things you learned about him? Dylan.
He doesn't pay attention.
He doesn't pay attention. He doesn't listen very well, right? Can anyone think of any examples of what happened? Let's look at the pictures. What happened first? The first sign of him kind of being a little bit of a troublemaker. What do you think? Ariana, what happened?
He spilled milk all over his clothes when he was probably 4.
Okay, so that was one of them. Yeah, that's a good guess. I think it's about 4. What happened before that? Remember at his christening? What happened? Let's look at the picture. What did he do, Sierra?
He spilled the water everywhere.
Right. Look at, remember? Just from a baby. Gabe, sit up and sit on the apple, please. Thank you. Just when he was a baby, he was already causing trouble. What else did he do? Ariana told us he spilled the milk. Dylan?
He left the gate open.
He left all the gates open. Good. Let's look at that picture. Remember this picture? All the gates were open. Zoe, do you have another example?
He let the cow eat the lettuce.
He let the cow eat the lettuce right when his mom told him to go get some
I think
lettuce.
he's a goat.
And the cow ate it. Good. Okay, so what happened right before Mrs. Ahern stopped reading yesterday? Connor, do you remember? Oh, you have one more to share? Okay, what do you want to share? Right. Yeah.
I know the part. I know that part.
Vivian. What Connor was talking about was when the teacher said just go put the books on the shelf, but he put everything on the shelf, right? So he hears a little bit of what they say, but he doesn't listen to all of it, and he always kind of messes it up. The last thing that happened before Mrs. Ahern stopped reading is his family said, his dad, his papa said, it's time for Big Anthony to go out into the world and earn his fortune. So we're going to see what he does when he goes out into the world, okay? So everyone's sitting on their bottoms and looking up here. Dylan, turn around, please. All right, arrivederci, Big Anthony. Buona fortuna, which means bye, Anthony, good luck. The family called as Big Anthony set out on his journey. Down the highways and byways, Big Anthony strode south, whistling a happy tune. The whole world was ahead of him. Do I have to move him to yellow? You need to pay attention. How excited he was. He walked and walked until the sun set. He arrived at a town called Pisa. It was too dark to go any further, so Big Anthony found a wall to sit against. He opened his sack and ate his supper. Before he knew it, he was fast asleep. The birds woke him at dawn. He stood up, stretched, and opened his eyes. What he saw shocked him. I must have leaned too hard against the wall, he said to himself, but I can fix it. And he rushed away before anyone was awake. Does anyone know what this building is? The famous building. Mikey? Right, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Not pizza, Pisa.
Pizza.
So, look at this tower, it's supposed to be leaning. What did Big Anthony think he did? Zoe?
He pushed it a little bit down.
Yeah, he thought that when he was napping, he pushed it down. So he said off he went down the road, pleased that he had fixed the tower. Look what he
Did
did.
they make it that way?
They did. Look what he did. He fixed the tower. He put it up. Do you think people were happy that he did that?
Yeah.
No, it's so famous because it's leaning and he fixed it. All right. Soon he came to a place called Firenze. Firenze was filled with art. So Big Anthony got a job with an artist. Now, Anthony, the first thing I want you to do is make the paints. See these colored powders? Mix each one with water and put them didn't order the eels. I hate eels. Where is my pizza? Waiter, waiter, you gave me zuppa. Soup. I ordered pasta. Out, out, the owner shouted. Uh-oh, he messed up all the orders. Got fired again. Who's surprised? Raise your hand if you're surprised. You are? You're surprised? Raise your hand if you're not surprised. I'm not too surprised. Seems to be kind of messing up everything. Alright, just as Big Anthony left the restaurant, Mount Vesuvius, the volcano, erupted. Well, Big Anthony said, at least that's not my fault. Big Anthony headed south again until he came to the part of the country called Calabria. He walked down a hill and came to a little village. There in the town square was a sign. Someone needed a helper, someone who lived in a little house up the hill. Thinking. Big Anthony climbed the hill to the little house and knocked on the door. All right, raise your hand if you think you can make a prediction for who's going to answer that door. Gabe, looking. I'm going to call on someone who's sitting on the roof. Not calling out. Lydia, what do you think? Stregonona, raise your hand if you agree. Let's see. It just says, the rest is history. Look who it is. Good. And then we read Stregonona. So this story came before Stregonona. Right? Alright, the end. So, I want everyone to look up at the board. I'm going to show you an activity. Alright, I love how Mikey is sitting quietly. And Dominic. And Gabe. Everyone should be looking up here. Dylan and Sierra. Okay. I'm going to show you this new chart that I'm going to fill out today with your help, but you are going to have to fill it out on your own another day, okay? So make sure you're paying attention. What it says is character columns. It says sees, does, feels, and thinks. So first I'm just going to write my name. That's the first thing we always do. And I'm going to do it for this story. So this story is called Big Anthony, His Story. So the title, Big Anthony, His Story. And the character I'm going to fill this out for is Big Anthony. So I'm going to write character is Big Anthony. Alright, so as you can see, the first column says sees. So in this space, I just want to write a few things about what Anthony sees. Because we've been talking about getting to know our characters and learning about our characters through what they say and their facial expressions and what they do in the pictures, right? So for what he sees, that's a good way to use the pictures, right? Because you can look at the pictures and see what he sees. Hands down, I'm gonna do one first and then I'll start asking if you can help me. So I'm gonna look through here. I see one thing Anthony sees. He keeps seeing different cities in Italy. He saw Firenze. He saw Pisa. Remember? Does anyone else remember the other city he went to? Dylan, do you remember? This is the pictures from there on the bridge. It's called Roma. In America we call it Rome, but in Italy they say Roma. Alright, so I'm going to say he sees cities. And for this column, know how yesterday when we did our quick write, we kind of just wrote down words, we didn't do complete sentences? You're going to do that for this column too. It doesn't even mean completely complete sentences. So I'm going to say he sees cities in Italy.
How about you draw pictures?
I'm not going to draw a picture because I want to practice writing my words. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing too. Okay? Alright, so what else did he see? I'm going to do maybe I'm going to do three for each one. What do you think he sees when he looks at all the people that he helps? What do you think he sees when he looks at their faces after he might have messed up? What do you think, Leah? Yeah, they look angry. Aaliyah, Dylan? Okay. Our next column is thanks. This is kind of a tricky one. Connor and Jonathan. What do you think Big Anthony thinks? Riley. He thinks he can fix the tower. So he thinks he can fix the tower, thinks he can mix all the paints, thinks he can get all the orders right. What do you think you can say for one word for all of that? Mikey. It's okay. Juliana, what do you think? How do you think, what do you think Big Anthony thinks? When he's doing all these jobs, do you think that he's like, oh, I'm really bad at this? Or do you think he thinks he's doing a good job? You don't? I think he thinks he's doing a good job. Yeah, I think he kind of thinks he's doing a good job. So I'm going to say he thinks he's helpful. Thinks he's helpful. Logan, turn around, please. Hand here. All right, what else do you think he thinks? Riley, can you say yours again? Because I like what you said. Yeah, he thinks he fixed the tower. Dylan, say that again. He thinks he can fix everything. Raise your hand if you agree with what Dylan said. Dennis. He thinks he can fix everything. All right. What do you think about Stregonona? What do you think he thinks about her? Do you think he thinks he can help her? Raise your hand if you think he thinks he's going to do a good job. All right, awesome. So do you see that when you... All right, boys and girls, we only have a few more minutes on the rug, and then I'll let you go read, okay? So when you do this on your own, I want you to be thinking, when you're reading, what do your characters see? What do they do? How do they feel? What do they think? Okay? All right, so it looks like Dominic is ready. So Dominic, you can go back and you can start reading, and I want you to think about these 4 things. Who else looks ready? Oh, looks like everyone looks ready now. Okay, so everyone can go back to their seats, and I want you to read